Oh, we already have two participants in class. Hello there, good afternoon. Can you hear me? If you can, please respond. Hello. Hello there. Okay, just hold on.
Hello, hello there. Can you hear me? If you can, please. Okay, so let's proceed with the class as we were. So, like I said, today's class is the beginning of our free edition of chemistry classes, and we're going to be talking about the introduction to chemistry. So let's begin. Here are some of the learning objectives that we have. At the end of today's class, you should be able to do a few things. First of all, you should be able to define chemistry in simple terms. At the end of this class, if anyone stops you at the road, at the mall, wherever it is, and asks you to define chemistry, by the aim of this class, you should be able to do that without any hassle. And then number two, you should be able to identify and explain the main branches of chemistry by the end of this class. And then number three, you should be able to discuss the importance of chemistry in everyday life. Number four, you should be able to give practical examples of how chemistry is applied in different fields, in medicine, in food, in environment, and so on and so forth. And then finally, you should be able to develop an awareness of how chemistry connects with other sciences and technology. So with all of that said, let's dive into the main course for what we have in today's class. If you can hear me, can you please signify? I want to be sure that every bit of today's class is being followed. If you can hear me, can you please signify? All right, I can see your reaction, Mr. Francis, and I'm sure the same goes for each and every one of everyone else in this class. So we begin like this. Imagine you leave a piece of iron outside in the rain. Now, this is something that I believe must have happened to most of those people in this class, if not everyone. You'd understand and notice with me that after leaving a piece of iron in the rain after some days, you would notice that the color changed from something like this, which is what iron usually looks like, to become something like this. It becomes brown after some time, which we know as rust. After a few days, you would notice a reddish brown layer forming on it. That same week, if you also left some bread in the kitchen, you would notice that after a while, it has grown mold and it has become inedible. Now, to the layman, that person may be wondering, why does iron turn brown after a while leaving it in the rain? And why does food spoil? To the layman, he or she may be confused why all these things are happening, but not to us scientists, because we know why these things are happening behind the background. These everyday happenings are not random. In other words, there are certain things that are causing them to happen. And those are the things that we explain in chemistry. You see, chemistry is a branch of science that helps us to understand why materials change, just like the change we saw in the piece of iron in the last slide, how substances interact with each other, and how we can use this knowledge to improve life. Now, right now on the screen, you can see a cup that is containing some ice cubes. On the other side, you can see a cup that is containing some water. Now, you would agree with me that this cup of ice cube is in the solid state of matter, while this cup is in the liquid state of matter. In chemistry, what we simply do is to find out what happened that made this solid to change to liquid. We are discovering how substances interact and how materials are changing, just like solid has changed into liquid. Am I communicating this afternoon? If you can hear me, please, I'd like you to please notify once again. Thank you, Mr. Francis. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we are still in the introductory part of today's class. Just as a doctor uses medicine to heal the body, an engineer uses machines to build structures, engines and all of that. A chemist, a person who studies chemistry, by the way, is called a chemist. A chemist studies matter to solve problems. So at the heart or at the center of chemistry, what we are doing is we are studying matter. If you're with a pen and with a paper writing down everything I'm saying, you can just write down the key points or anything that is striking to you. I'm going to be sending the notes to the class, okay? So if you miss anything, do not worry, I've got your back. The recording for today's class is also going to be uploaded on my YouTube channel. So sit back, relax, and enjoy every bit of what we have. So at the heart of chemistry, everything we are doing is to study matter. And by the way, matter is anything that has weight and that occupies space. From the air that we are breathing right now, as you're watching this video in this live class, you are breathing in oxygen and breathing out carbon dioxide. That is a form of matter. So the water that you are drinking, the soap that you use, the fuel in your cars, even the food that you eat, each and every single one of these things that I just mentioned, chemistry is involved. So today we are beginning our journey into the world of chemistry. the science that answers many of our daily life questions and shows us how the smallest particles can make the biggest difference. So, one thing I want you to know is, I've always noticed that when you mention chemistry or any other scientific subject, people usually think is limited to some of the things that we do in chemical laboratories, mixing chemicals and all of that. While that is true, I also want you to know that science also applies to your everyday life. Um, for some of the students watching this, probably mom and dad may have prepared a meal for you today. That process of cooking also involved chemistry. So I want you to sit back and relax and enjoy every bit of what we have in today's class. All right, now, so we start off by defining what chemistry is. What is chemistry? Now, I always like my classes to be interactive, okay? So at some point, I'm going to be stopping to ask a few questions to know that you're following. So I want someone to unmute themselves at this junction and in their own understanding, tell me, what do you understand by the term chemistry? When the term chemistry is mentioned, what comes to your mind? Yes, please. Mr. Francis? Mr. David, you can unmute yourself and go ahead and answer the question. What is chemistry?
Chemistry is a branch.
Mm-hmm.
Good afternoon, Mr. Dave.
Good afternoon.
Chemistry, chemistry is a branch of science
Yes.
which studies the nature of matter and how
Okay.
it relates to its environment
Perfect.
to help
Beautiful.
solve problems.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Francis. An absolutely beautiful definition is what you gave over there. I liked some of the key points that you mentioned. The study of the nature of matter and how it relates to other things, which helps us to solve problems. Very beautiful. Mr. David and my other participants in today's class, does anyone else have anything to say? What is chemistry? Yes. What is chemistry? Yes.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
From my own understanding,
Yes.
I see chemistry as the study of the structure of matter and how matter reacts to the change it undergoes.
Okay. Thank you very much for that beautiful definition you just gave. You are also absolutely correct and online. You mentioned two things, the structure of matter. Very correct. And then you mentioned how it reacts to the different changes that it undergoes. Everything that each and every one of you have said are absolutely correct, okay? Chemistry always involves matter, and matter, by the way, is anything that has weight and occupies space. Now, here is a definition on the screen, and I believe you can see it just as I can. Chemistry can be defined as the branch of science. We have many branches in science because science is very wide. There is physics, there is biology, and so many ones that won't be getting into in today's class because we're dealing with chemistry. It is the branch of science that is concerned with the composition. Composition here simply means what it is made of. Composition, structure. Structure means how it is built. Properties means the nature, and then changes. That is the transformation from one form to another. So chemistry can be defined as the branch of science concerned with the composition, the structure, the properties, and the changes of matter. You remember the glass of ice that I made reference to a few slides ago? We saw how ice changed into liquid water. In chemistry, we would be curious to find out, okay, it was solid before. Why is it changing into liquid now? That is what chemistry is all about. So in simpler words, it is the study of what substances are made up of, how they behave, and how they can change from one form to another. Am I communicating this afternoon? I'd like to see your reaction. If I'm audible enough, please let me know by your reaction on the screen right now. Am I audible enough? Can you hear me? I'd like to see your reaction on the screen if I am audible enough for you to hear and if you're following up with today's class. Hello, can you hear me? Am I audible enough?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. I was wondering if I was being
Yes,
audible
sir.
enough. All right, very good. So everybody's going to be unmuted now. At some point, if you have a question, you can ask. So here is an example on the screen right now. It is through chemistry that we discovered that water is a substance made up of hydrogen and oxygen. In science classes, you must have seen something like this, H2O. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, this is a formula that represents water in chemistry. Okay, it is through chemistry that we discovered that water was made up of two elements, the first one being hydrogen and the second one being oxygen. And chemistry also helps us understand why water can exist in three different states of matter. That is the solid, which is ice, the liquid, which is water, and then the steam, which is gas. And chemistry has also helped us to understand how ice can be changed into liquid and how the liquid can be changed into a gas. Are you there?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Very good. All right, now, so
Yes, sir.
chemistry is also called the central science, okay? Because it connects with other fields of study. Other fields of study like physics, biology, and the rest of them. Chemistry has a way of linking up and connecting with them. In short, chemistry is not just a school subject. It is a key science that helps to explain the natural world around you, and it supports many other areas of knowledge. Now, on the screen right now, I have the diagram of a tree, and I'm sure you can see it. Is that correct?
Yes, Yes, sir. sir.
Right, very good. So that tree here has
Yes.
a few parts. Here are the parts of a tree. This is the main branch or the main trunk. This is called the trunk. Okay. And these guys over here that I am labeling right now, they are called the branches. Now, why did I bring this image of a tree? I did it to illustrate chemistry.
Yes, sir.
Chemistry is just like this tree. And every tree has multiple branches. So chemistry is a very, very wild field. So for scientists to be able to study it efficiently, they divided it into branches to make the study easier. And each of these branch focuses on a particular aspect of matter and its changes. So we're going to be going right now into the different branches of chemistry. And before we proceed, I'd like each and every one of you to give a go at it. If you know any branch of chemistry, can you mention it? And then I'll highlight if you are correct or wrong.
Zoology.
Zoology, not necessarily, but nice attempt.
Engineering.
Engineering, no.
Electrochemistry.
Electrochemistry, okay.
Organic chemistry.
Organic chemistry, very correct. Very
Inorganic
correct.
chemistry.
Inorganic chemistry, very correct as well. Biochemistry, yes. Person who mentioned biochemistry is very correct. Biochemistry, very, very correct. All right, so let's not waste much time. Let's talk about the first one. The person who mentioned organic chemistry, you're not only correct, you also mentioned the first branch we're going to be talking about, organic chemistry. Now, organic chemistry is the study of carbon compounds or compounds that contain carbon. Now, a very good example of compounds that contain carbon are the fuels that you use in your car. Now, how many of you know? Yes, how many of you know that the fuel you use in your automobiles, maybe a car, a motorcycle, or even the generator that powers your house at night, they are made up of organic compounds? How many of you are aware of that?
Me, sir.
Very good. These fuels that power, Yes, thank you very much. These fuels that power your house are made up of organic compounds. So all of these compounds put together, when we study them, that is what we refer to as organic chemistry. Yes, and not just the fuels that power your house. Right now, I am labeling the image of some drugs. The drugs that you take when you are unwell and go to see a doctor. Maybe the drugs are given to you as pills or even injections or through intravenous means. All those drugs contain organic compounds. And even the plastics that you use in your house, maybe it's a water bottle, the plastic that covers your remote, or even the phone that you are using to watch this video right now. I'm sure you know that your phone contains plastic as well. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Now,
sir.
all these substances contain carbon. They are carbon-containing compounds. And when we study them together as a whole, it is known as organic chemistry. So here is one importance of organic chemistry. It forms the basis of life and many industrial products. The next one we're going to be looking at is inorganic chemistry. The person who mentioned inorganic chemistry, thank you for being ahead of time. Inorganic chemistry is the second branch of chemistry that we have among the plenty branches. Now, let me define it this way. Inorganic chemistry is simply the opposite. It's simply the opposite of organic. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
Yes. So in the case of organic chemistry, we are studying compounds that contain carbon. But in the case of inorganic chemistry, we are studying compounds that do not contain carbon or non-carbon compounds and minerals. And a very good example is the salts, metals, acids, and bases. Now, here is a quick activity I want you guys to do for me. I want you to mention an example of a salt that you know, and then a metal that you know, and then we'll proceed with the next branch of chemistry. Give me one example of a salt and one example of a metal.
Copper, metal.
Okay, metal, copper, all right. How about a salt? The table salt you use in your house, is that an example?
No.
The salt you use in your house
Example,
is an example now, a very good example.
example of salt, acidic salt.
Okay, there are acidic salts. What other examples do
Example,
you know?
acidic salt.
There are mineral salts. We also have basic salts. All right, now let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah,
There
example.
is one salt that everybody in this life class has used before. We use it when we cook. We use it when we are cooking. What is that salt called?
Table
Sodium
salt.
Uh,
Table salt.
chloride.
Chloride.
I'm writing the answer on the screen right now.
Sodium chloride.
Sodium chloride. And the formula is given as NaCl. Na here stands for sodium and Cl stands for chlorine. That is one salt that we cannot do without. So the aspect of chemistry that studies these salts as part of the things that it studies is called inorganic chemistry. Does anybody have a question to ask at this portion?
Yeah, question.
Does anybody have a question? Any question? All right, in the absence of any question, let's proceed to the next branch of chemistry that we have. What is the next branch on the screen right now?
Physical chemistry.
Thank you very much. Physical chemistry. Now, physical chemistry is the branch of chemistry that deals with the principles, the theories, and calculations behind chemical behavior. Now, as we proceed in this month-long session of free chemistry classes, we're going to be talking about the aspect of balancing chemical equations. That is where you'll be encountering things like stoichiometric coefficients and the rest. Well, I don't want this class to be too complex, okay? That branch of chemistry that studies the aspect of balancing chemical equations, energy changes, rates of reaction, and all of that is called the physical chemistry. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Yes,
And
sir.
then the next branch of chemistry we have is the analytical chemistry. Now, I like this one because this is a branch of chemistry that combines two words. The first word is called analytical. Who can define analytical for me? When the word analytical is mentioned, what comes to your mind?
Analyze.
Oh, thank you very much. Analyze. Whoever you are that mentioned that, I'm so grateful. And it assures me that you're following through with today's class. Analytical was actually gotten from the word analyze. And when we are analyzing, we are simply making a research to find out the facts about something. So, analytical chemistry is the branch of chemistry that is concerned with identifying substances and their composition. Did you get that?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Very good. It is the branch of chemistry that is concerned with identifying substances and their composition or what they contains. Now, there are two methods of analytical chemistry. There is the qualitative. Can you say that after me? Qualitative.
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 Very good. When we say qualitative, we are simply talking about the things that are present. For instance, qualitative branch of analytical chemistry is the one that helps us to know that water contains H2O, hydrogen and oxygen. And then the other method of analytical chemistry is the quantitative. Quantitative was gotten from the word quantity. And when we say quantity, what do we mean?
Amount.
Thank you very much.
Weight.
We're talking about the amount. Yes, weight is also applicable. The amount of a substance that is present. That is why you can hear questions like, if 5 grams of carbon reacts with 10 grams of oxygen, how much carbon dioxide is produced? That is a branch of quantitative analysis. We are finding out how much the amount of a substance that is present in a chemical reaction. Thus far, I don't know if anybody is confused in this lesson. Does anybody have a question?
No, sir.
All right, then. A very good
sir.
example of this branch of chemistry is the testing of blood in hospitals. How many of you know that when you go to a hospital to do blood transfusion, before they take blood from a donor, they have to do something that they call blood test? How many of you know that?
Yes,
Me,
I
sir.
know.
Yes, that's very correct. Now, that blood test involves some chemical processes that helps us to know if the person's blood will be suitable to donate for another person or not. So you can see chemistry doesn't just apply to laboratories, it applies to different parts of everyday living. And then somebody also mentioned biochemistry when I was asking for the different branches of chemistry that we have. Biochemistry is also a branch of chemistry. Now, biochemistry is the combination of two words. Can you tell me what those two words are?
Chemistry.
Biology and chemistry.
Thank you very much. Bio and chemistry. Somebody said biology. That's also applicable. Bio here is the Greek word for life or living organisms. Okay, so when we refer to biochemistry, we are simply talking about the chemistry of all living organisms. How many of you know that as you're in this class, this live class right now, there are some chemical reactions that are happening in your body? How many of you know?
Me, sir.
Okay, can you give me an example of of a chemical reaction that's happening in your body right now?
Sure. Pumping of the blood.
Okay, pumping of the blood. How about this one that I am writing on the screen?
Digestion.
Digestion, very good. The person who
Respiration.
mentioned digestion
Digestion.
is very, very correct. Digestion is a very good example. How about this one that I just put on the screen right now?
Respiration.
Respiration, very correct. Now, who can define respiration for me?
Is the act of breathing in and out.
Okay, okay. That is an elementary definition. I would accept that. Who else has another definition for me?
This is the process of breathing in and out, thereby
Okay.
exchanging carbon dioxide for carbon oxide.
No, You don't exchange carbon dioxide for carbon dioxide. You exchange carbon dioxide for oxygen. Because when you breathe in oxygen. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And then when you breathe out carbon dioxide. Now, that's one process called respiration. Now, this is just one example of the many different examples of chemical reactions that happen in living organisms. Now, I have some examples on the screen right now. We have respiration, we have photosynthesis. Who can define photosynthesis for me?
Is the process plants go through when they make their food.
Very good. It is the process through which plants trap energy from the sun in order to produce their food. Thank you very much for that contribution. I'm so excited you're following through with every bit of today's lesson. All right, we have so many more examples of the different branches of chemistry. And then the next one we're looking at is the environmental chemistry. This is the branch of chemistry that studies how chemicals affect the environment. How many of you know that chemicals actually affect your environment?
Lisa.
Very good.
I do.
For instance, when mommy and daddy take you to school in your car, the gas that is emitted from the exhaust pipe of the car goes into the environment and it affects the environment. How many of you know that?
Lisa.
I
do.
Very, very good. So this branch of chemistry that studies things like this is called the environmental chemistry. We have so many more branches. Then we have the industrial chemistry. Who can define this one for me? I want to be the student right now. Industrial chemistry.
Sir, I
Yes.
think that industrial chemistry
Mhm.
is the study of how industries use
Okay.
different chemicals according
Okay.
to the nature of their matter to
Okay.
produce different products.
Thank you very much. I'm so excited for that definition. Now, all of you use soap in your house. Is that correct?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Apart from soap,
Yes.
you also use toothpaste in your house. Is that also correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And many other things that you use in your house. Did you know that all these things were produced in industries or factories through industrial processes? And one of the ways that they were able to produce this is through the study of something called industrial chemistry. This is a branch of chemistry that focuses on large-scale chemical production in industries. Now, the industries that produce cement, you all know what cement is, right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Very good. The industries that produce fertilizers, the industries that do petroleum refining, all of them study industrial chemistry because they are industries and they need industrial chemistry to be able to produce all these things that we use in our daily lives. So how many of you can see that chemistry is actually fun?
sir.
Yeah, I'm so excited that you agree with me. So chemistry is not just studied in the classroom, okay? It surrounds us in our daily activities. It makes life easier, it makes us healthier and more enjoyable. So some of the key areas of chemistry that where chemistry applies involves number one, what's on the screen right now?
Medicine and health.
Medicine and health.
Medicine and health. Thank you very much. It is through chemistry that we are able to produce some of the drugs that we use in the hospitals, in the clinics, and even the chemists when we go to buy them. So chemistry helps in the development of drugs, vaccines, and antiseptics. Who can give me some examples of drugs that they know?
Antibiotics.
Anti-malaria, okay? Anti-malaria like Ampiclox. Thank you very much. And then drugs like painkillers. Yes, somebody was giving an example. What was that?
Antibiotics.
Antibiotics. Thank you very much. So all these things that you just mentioned, they are made possible through the process of chemistry. The next example is what?
Food and agriculture.
Yes. How many of you like food like me?
Sir.
Okay, I'm the only one that likes food here. Nobody likes food like me.
No, sir.
Aha.
So I
So,
love food.
yes. Now, how many of you know that chemistry also applies to the aspect of agriculture by the production of
Yes, sir.
fertilizers? Yes, because chemistry is the one that helped us to produce something called fertilizers, and those fertilizers helps us to make our crops to grow and yield more. So you can see chemistry also applies to food and agriculture. What is the next example on the screen right now?
Industry.
Industry and technology.
Industry and technology. Now, when you produce things like plastics, textiles, fuels, paints, all of those things are products of chemistry. Chemistry also drives industries such as petroleum, refining, cement, cosmetics, and battery production. Now, the battery on your phone, or if you're watching this with a laptop, how many of you know that those batteries contains chemicals?
I said.
I
Very good. Those batteries
Hi.
contain, yes, they contain
I
chemicals, and those chemicals were produced through chemistry. And then modern technology like solar panels. How many of you use solar panels in your house?
I
Yes, solar panel. When there is no NEPA, that solar panel enables you to be able to generate light. Now, those solar panels, the rechargeable batteries in your phones and your laptops, they all depend on chemical innovations. So let's see more branches or more places that chemistry applies to. What is the next example on the screen?
Environment.
Environment.
Yes,
environment.
chemistry is also important and helpful in our environment. It helps us to control pollution by developing safer fuels and biodegradable material. Now, let me explain something. This word that I just mentioned, I want to give it as an assignment. Will you help me do the assignment if I give you the
Yes.
assignment? Okay, that
Yes.
assignment is I want you to find out for me what is the meaning of this word, biodegradable materials.
So I know.
So we know it.
Oh, you know it.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Yes,
sir.
All right,
sir.
let me test your knowledge. What is the meaning of biodegradable materials?
Biodegradable materials are materials which
Mm-hmm.
can decompose into the soil.
Oh my God, this is absolutely beautiful. I never knew I just packed a bunch of geniuses in my class. Materials that can decompose, that is the word, decompose. To decompose, let's break it down further. To decompose means to break down. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So somebody has already done the assignment for us. Biodegradable materials are materials that can decompose. Can you give me an example of a biodegradable material?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah,
Food,
give me an example.
food waste,
And tomato.
food waste.
Tomato. Thank you. Thank you. Who else is giving me an example?
Dead body.
Okay, dead body. That's another good example.
Bro-
Who is giving me another example of a biodegradable material?
Potato.
broccoli.
Potato,
Vegetable.
broccoli, very
Ve-
vegetables. Yes, they are
Pizza.
biodegradable. Pizza. I know some people here like food like me. Pizza. All these things that you have
Yes.
mentioned are actually correct. Okay. Chemistry helps us to control pollution by developing safer fuels and biodegradable materials. Now, one other importance of chemistry to our daily life is on the screen right now. Can you tell me what you can see?
Household application.
Household application.
Yes, household applications. Now, I'm going to be labeling some things. Can you tell me what they are?
Gas cooker.
Very good. Gas cooker. How about this one?
And detergents.
Okay, correct. Detergent. How about this one?
Chicken, meat, fish, protein.
Okay, proteins. Thank you. I know you will know that one now because you like food like me. How about this one?
This look like um egg.
Let's just call it food now. So now,
Food.
all of these things,
Egg.
all of this,
Cheesecake.
yes, cheesecake, correct? Yes.
Bag.
Correct. So now all of these things, okay, they are grouped into one category and they are grouped under something that we can call or term household applications. Chemistry is also important in our houses. Now, some of the things that you use every day, like soap, detergent, toothpaste, even matches and cooking gas, they are all products of chemistry. How many of you know that?
Yes,
I,
Yes, they are all
I,
products of
sir.
chemistry. Good. Cleaning agents and cosmetics, they are also made possible through chemical processes. Even cooking, how many of you know that cooking is a chemical process? When you
Me, sir.
combine, yes, when you turn these proteins from this into this, it is a chemical process because you are involving something called heat. Now,
Yes, sir.
chemistry, yes, chemistry is everywhere, and I've shown that to you. From the food you eat to the medicine you take, even the clothes that you wear and the environment you live in. Without chemistry, modern life would be impossible. So we're coming to the end of today's class, and I'm sure you enjoyed every bit of it. But before we do that, let's do a summary of everything that we had in today's class. Can you read for me what is on the screen right now?
Chemistry is the branch of science
concern
concerned with the composition,
structure,
structure,
property
properties,
property,
and
and
of matter.
changes of matter.
Thank you. And then how about this one? Can you read that for me too?
It is
It
called
is called the
central
central science because it connects with physics,
physics,
biology,
biology, math,
mathematics,
and
and
many
many
other.
other
Other
fields.
fields. Thank you very much. How about this one? Can you read it for me too?
The five main branches
Five
of
branches of
chemistry are
chemistry are
organic
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 chemistry,
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 Yes.
study of
carbon
carbon compounds,
compound,
Yes.
inorganic
inorganic
chemistry,
chemistry,
Yes.
study of
study of
non-carbon
non-carbon
compounds,
compound,
Yes.
physical
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 chemistry,
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 Mm-hmm.
principles,
principle,
theories,
theories, and
theories,
calculations,
Okay.
analytical
analytical chemistry,
chemistry,
Mm-hmm.
identifying
identifying substances
substances and their
yeah,
and their
composition,
composition,
Okay. And then finally,
biochemistry,
biochemistry
which is the
chemistry
study.
of
of
living
living organisms.
organisms.
Thank you very, very much. Now, chemistry is important in many areas of life, and those areas include number one,
Medicine and health,
very good. Number two,
food
food,
and
Food and
agriculture,
agriculture,
very good. Number three,
industry and
industry and
technology,
technology,
number four,
environment
environment
and
and
household
household
uses.
uses.
very, very good. So, here is a class activity that I want you to do before we call it a day in today's class. Where do you see chemistry in your daily life? Among the many things that you do when you wake up, brush your teeth, take your bath, go to school, sit down at the lunch table to eat some meals, how many things do you see chemistry in? I want you to answer that question for me. Who wants to go first?
When baking,
When baking, very good. Very, very good. Now, do you know that when you are baking, you are combining some materials together? You're combining your baking soda, you're combining your sugar, you're combining your milk, you're combining so many things together. And as you are combining them, you are making an entirely new different product, which is your cake. And that is actually a chemical process. So that's a very correct answer. Who else wants to go?
During experiments,
During experiments, okay? Experiments like which one? Which one do you know of?
Like preparation of carbon using KIPS apparatus.
Oh, that's very correct. Which other one do you want to mention for me?
Um,
How about when you take your bath? Is chemistry involved there?
yes.
yes,
Okay, how is
Yes.
chemistry involved? Can you tell me?
The soap and the
Soap
soap sword.
Thank you.
detergent.
Thank you. That was the exact thing I wanted to hear from you. The soap that you are using. Now, how many of you know? Okay, I'll just give you this amazing fact. Did you know that the soap you use when you're taking your bath is made up of something called, who knows what this is?
Sodium
Sodium
Hydroxide.
Who said
hydroxide.
hydroxide? Who said hydroxide?
Me, sir. Francis and
Very
Francis.
correct. Very correct. Sodium hydroxide is very correct. I'm so excited. Sodium hydroxide is actually a chemical substance that is used when we want to make soap. So you can see when you're even taking your bath early in the morning, when they wake you up, Francis, it's time for school. Mommy, I don't want to go to school today. Francis, stand up. Okay, mommy, I will go. And then you're taking your bath. Chemistry is also involved. So here is an assignment that I want you to do for me. Okay, I'm going to be dropping the link to this assignment in the chemistry community. So it will take you to the page where you can do your assignments. And once you do your assignments, I will know because it is going to notify me, okay?
Okay, sir.
What are the assignments that you can see on the screen right now?
It's 5 ways chemistry affects your daily life.
Okay. And number 2?
Listen,
I
listen.
explain briefly any 3 branches of chemistry.
Okay, so I want you to do that for me. Write 5 ways chemistry affects your daily life and then list and explain
I have a
briefly.
question.
Oh, yes, please go ahead. Ask your question. That's why I'm here.
What format are we to use for the homework?
Okay, I'm going to be dropping the link for this assignment in the community, okay? Once you click that link, it's going to take you to a page where you can type your assignments, okay? You will type it like, okay, these are the 5 ways chemistry affects my daily life. So once you type it there, it will notify and send the assignments to me, okay? Or
Okay,
better
sir.
still, if you want to do it on both ends, you can just write the assignments on a piece of paper and snap it and send it to me on WhatsApp. Whichever way you choose to do it is absolutely fine, okay?
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
All right. Does anybody have any questions to ask?
I have a question to ask, sir.
Oh, yes, please ask.
So please, and why is it that sugar and salt they dissolve faster in hot water than in cold water?
Oh, all right. Somebody ask a question. Why is it that sugar and salt dissolves faster in hot water than
like this of
in
your
cold water? That is because of something called heat or high temperature. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Good. Now, in physical chemistry, there is something called kinetic energy. Now, kinetic energy is the energy that is associated with particles that are in motion. Now, when water is hot, the particles of that water are moving faster than when the water is cold. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes,
So
sir.
when you pour some cubes of sugar or maybe a spoonful of salt inside that hot water, the particles are mixing faster than when you pour it inside cold water. So that's the reason why hot water dissolves sugar and salt faster than cold water because of the heat. The heat makes the temperature to be high, and because of the high temperature, the particles are moving faster. Did I answer
Yes,
your
sir.
question?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
All right, who else has a question to ask? Does anyone have a question to ask?
No, sir.
Are you sure nobody has a question to ask?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so let me see everybody that is participating in today's lesson.
You already calculate? Yes, yes, press yes.
Can I see everybody? Can you see me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. I'd like to see you too. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
All right, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. All right, so thank you for coming into today's lesson, okay? I'm super excited to have you around, and I will see you in the next class where we get to deal with more chemistry topics. Is that correct?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Yes.
sir.
All right, everybody, bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye, sir.